send a chat, raise your hand. The new room, I want to make sure we're not having any technical difficulties.
They're raising hands.
Okay, perfect. You guys can hear me. Great. All right. Well, good morning. My name is Summer Jones, and I work on the 5310 program along with Travis Miller right there in the back. So today it's just a little workshop to go over the application process, what we're looking for in the application, and a little bit about 5310 program and what activities are eligible. And we do have some vendors here today. If the vendors would like to raise their hands. Okay, so we have 2 vendors here today and they have vehicles, and I am expecting one more. He's late. So they have some vehicles downstairs that afterward we can go look at. I will say it's very helpful to actually see the vehicles, and just, you're going to hear me repeat it all throughout my presentation. If you ever have a question on any of the vehicles, the vendors are the best resource. They will work with you to know what vehicle best suits your needs. So I can't emphasize that enough. So OKI is the designated recipient of the Section 5310 federal funds in the Cincinnati urbanized area. And as you all know, the goal of 5310 is to improve mobility for seniors and individuals with disabilities by removing transportation barriers. So it makes them be able to get to mobility, to employment, medical appointments, grocery shopping, educational opportunities, actually things that we take advantage of. Or take for granted that, you know, we can easily get to. So the goal of this program is to remove those barriers. The applicants must be listed in our coordinated plan to receive our funding. If you're not, that doesn't mean you can't apply for funding. We can amend the coordinated plan and add your agency profile to it. So don't freak out if your agency is not listed in the coordinated plan. You can still apply for funding. If you're awarded, we would just add your agency profile. And there's a slight delay between slides, we've realized, so bear with us. The selection process, we're here today on December 5th for the application workshop. Submittals are going to be due February 2nd at noon here to OKI. It is an online application, same as last year. I'll get into that a little more later. And then in March, the OKI oversight team will review all applications, score them, and provide recommendations. And then May, June, FTA will review it. And also our OKI, ICC, and executive committee will review it. July, August, the projects will go into an FTA grant. And then if all goes well, hopefully in the fall, I will be working with those awarded funds to do subrecipient agreements. It is important to mention, once you're awarded our funds and receive our monitor your progress, whether that be for mobility management or a vehicle, you have to do annual reporting, things like that. So you will continue to work with OKI through oversight of the project throughout the useful life. I would like to thank the OKI oversight, or the 5310 oversight team. We have 11 agencies on the committee. They do great work in reviewing the applications, providing feedback if we need any changes done to the process next year. So this is not an easy task. They're all good programs that are submitted. So I, again, just thank the oversight team for all of their hard work. And we do have a couple oversight team members in the audience today. So thank you very much. The eligible applicants for our funds, you can be a private nonprofit organization, or a private operator of public transportation, or a state or local government authority that is approved by state to coordinate services for seniors and individuals with disabilities, or that certifies that there are no other nonprofit organizations available in the region to provide the service. And of course, if you're a transit authority, you can receive our funds. And the eligible activities. There's traditional types of eligible activities and non-traditional. The traditional type are the buses that we'll get to see later, and things that go with it, like the maintenance, the lifts, the ramps, passenger facilities like bus benches or shelters, mobility management programs, I have that highlighted because last year the oversight team made the decision that they look at mobility management operations as kind of like a startup. It's not meant to sustain a program. It's a pilot program. So they have limited it to 3 years. So if your agency has already received funding for 3 years for mobility management operations, you won't be eligible anymore. So 3-year limit, if you're applying for that, just know that you can receive it for 3 years. And then we really want you to sustain that program on your own. Hi, you can come on in. Hi, Nick.
Hi, Summer. Sorry I'm late.
And then acquisition of transportation services under a contract, lease, or other arrangement. And then we have our non-traditional eligible activities, which is travel training, volunteer driver programs, which I know Patsy does that at the Cincinnati Blind for Visually Impaired. You can build a sidewalk or an accessible path to a bus stop, or improve signage or wayfinding. The incremental cost of providing same-day service, and then purchasing vehicles to support new accessible taxi or van pooling programs. So, but again, I do want to point out that mobility management operations is a 3-year limit. Available funding. This program is funded under the FAST Act, and traditionally the area receives about 2.1 million. And that's what we're expecting to receive this year as well. We won't know for certain until the spring. There might be some leftover.
Yes, I'm sorry.
There might be some leftover money from the past grants, but I'm still kind of working through that. We had a huge increase in vehicle costs, which took some of our carryover funds. We had one agency who no longer in existence, so their grant got canceled. So we're still finalizing those figures. We hope to have at least 2.1 million. Hopefully we'll have more than that. So stay tuned for that. It is a 20% local match. So these are not 100% funds. So you do have to have a 20% local match. And in the application, one of the many attachments that we're going to talk about is a certificate of local match. So you have to also tell where the local match is coming from, whether that's a levy, donations, your operating budget. I need to know, because you can't match federal with federal. Again, we have lots of vendors here today and lots of vehicles. And if you're purchasing a vehicle, you have to purchase a vehicle off of the ODOT contract. You can't just go to anyone and say, I want this vehicle. Lots of different types of vehicles available. Modified minivans, accessible vans that are gasoline and electric, which is new this year, and light transit vehicles. Again, your best resources are the vendors. If you're not sure what vehicle is best for your agency needs, contact them and they will work through it with you. Because in addition to all these vehicles, there's so many options on there. And I'm going to be honest, I'm no vehicle expert. I'll try and help you the best I can, but your best resources is the vendors. The modified minivans. This is the base cost. The base cost is $70,000. You can add on all options, just like when you're buying a car. So that's the base cost. There's 2 vendors on the ODOT approved contract, Bronability and BSI. Accessible vans, gasoline, the base cost is $72,000. There's 3 vendors, BSI, American Bus, and Tesco. And then the new accessible vans, electric, the base cost is $90,000. I would like to point out on the application, there are bonus points worth 5 points for technology. If you are requesting an accessible van that's electric, you will be awarded the full 5 points. So that's new this year, that the electric buses are on the contract. However, there are some drawbacks and limitations to these electric buses after talking with some of the vendors. One of the factors is weight. The batteries and everything weigh a lot. So because of that, you're really limited to how many seats, wheelchairs, ramps and all that you can do, and you can't build a vehicle over a certain weight limit. So ODOT has very certain specific specs on the AV. So normally you can kind of move around. You want 8 ambulatory seats and 4 wheelchairs. You're not really able to do that with an accessible van that's electric. They need to really look at the weight. So again, if you're interested in an electric van, please contact one of these 3 vendors to get more information. They are 100% electric, I would like to point out. They're not hybrid. And then underneath the light transit vehicles, there's several different vehicle types, which you'll see in the broad cost range, $104,000 to $208,000 for base costs. We have a light transit vehicle narrow, a light transit vehicle fiberglass over steel, and then a light transit vehicle honeycomb, and a light transit low floor vehicle. Again, so many different varieties, so many different options. Yeah.
I brought a section of honeycomb wall
Okay.
with me so you can see what honeycomb means. Because we can tell you every day until we're blue in the face, but until you can touch it and make it tangible, it's hard to understand unless you've been doing this a while. So I brought that cutout for you to take a peek at during break. Help yourself. You can't break it. Try to break it. Don't think you can. And that should help ease some confusion on the honeycomb.
Yeah. So, so like I said, with the LTVs, there's fiberglass over steel or there's honeycomb. And what your needs are. And there's a price difference, so it just depends. I encourage you again to reach out to the vendors and learn more about it. Because it's not just like an LTV honeycomb. It's an LTV honeycomb with all these other options I can go with and how many seats and everything. It's a lot. So I appreciate the vendors coming today and bringing some vehicles for us to look at. As mentioned earlier, your agency must be in the coordinated plan to receive our funds. Again, if they're not, don't worry. We can amend the plan and add your agency profile. The coordinated plan is a unified comprehensive strategy for public transportation service delivery for the needs of transportation for seniors and individuals with disabilities. Our last plan was updated in 2020. It's due to be updated next in fiscal year 2025. And these were the gaps and needs that were identified in the last plan. Inadequate number and variety of destination types, inadequate transportation options during weekends, low frequency and long lead time for services, limited collaboration, and unaffordable fares. I don't think any of this would be new to anybody in this room. So this is what the oversight team is going to be looking at when we're reviewing applications. How does your application and your project address these needs and gaps? And then these are where the strategies to improve those barriers, to expand transportation availability to target populations throughout the region, improve transportation service to target populations through more communication, better serve people who use wheelchairs or who need physical assistance to travel, include service for late nights and weekends and coordinated with work shifts, increase the type of destinations that are offered, make fares more affordable, and better serve target population to travel to and from jobs, and to integrate new technologies. So again, pay attention to the coordinated plan when you're writing your application. How does your application address these strategies? Here is our evaluation criteria, which we rank all of the applications on. For filling gaps in the service target population, you can receive up to 15 points. And undertaking coordinated plan strategies, which is chapter 4, which we just kind of went over, 15 points. And the target population, 15 points. And coordinated efforts, and to eliminate or reduce duplication in services. That's a big one that the committee looks at. We don't want to throw money at a project if there's already another project out there that does the same thing. So that one is worth up to 25 points. The project sustainability, again, that's why we decided to limit the mobility management operations for 3 years. How can your project sustain without our money? We don't want to fund a project and then in 2 years it not have any money and it fall apart. So that is worth 15 points. And the quantification of the anticipated benefits of said project is 15 points. And then we have the bonus 5 points that you can receive for technology. If you're ordering an accessible van electric, you automatically get the 5 points. There's other ways you can get it. We've had people like a smartphone app or either like backup cameras to help. So there's a variety of things, and it's a scalable bonus points. So you can receive anywhere from 1 to 5. Application is online, same as last year. New thing this year is you can save it. Last year you weren't allowed to save it. I know. So this year you can save it. So you go to save, and then it's going to ask you to input your email address. Input your email address, and it should, if it works, send you that link. However, we are in the middle of updating our website. So if you went anywhere right now, none of it would be live. You wouldn't go anywhere. It's not supposed to be live until tomorrow at 2. Fingers crossed. So I would suggest when you type in your email and it comes up with that link, I would suggest you copy that link and you email it to yourself as well. OKI does not have access to any of these links. So if something happens and you didn't get the email, it didn't go through or whatever, there's no way for me to send you the link and you have to start all over again. And I would really hate that. So hopefully it works. If not, I encourage you to save the link and email it to yourself. I will say there's lots of attachments. I'm sure you all know. If you start uploading attachments and then you go to save, you have to reload all the attachments once you go back. It does not save the attachments. So just keep that in mind, that you will have to upload it again. And it won't let you submit unless you don't have certain things filled out. And again, I don't have a direct URL to give you right now that would take you right to the application. I apologize. It's just, we're in the middle of switching over to websites. So the best thing I can tell you right now is to go to oki.org and go to the 5310 page. If you can't find it, we'll have a search button. You can find it that way. Once we get it up and running, I will send everyone a direct link. I'll send it out to the whole TIAP group that got the original email. Yeah, Patsy, did you have a question?
Can I repeat that back to you to be sure I understood? Are you saying that we should wait and not attach the attachments until you're ready to submit?
I
Because
wouldn't.
Otherwise, they're going to keep
Yes.
disappearing.
Yeah, so say you're working and you're halfway through, you've already uploaded your attachments through there, because you upload attachments as you go along. It's not like you upload them all at the end. If you go back and save, all your attachments are gone.
So we don't want to do it till the very end.
That's what I would suggest,
Thank
yes.
you.
But you can't save this year, so we're making progress.
Yeah, that's great.
Again, if anyone who's familiar with our application, you can look at it and see that there are lots of applications. I kept teasing that if we wanted to, we could get to attachment Z if we really wanted to. Right now, I think we stop at attachment J, maybe. Lots of attachments. It can seem overwhelming. It's not, I promise you. And if you do have any questions or problems, give me a call and I will walk you through it. We do have a PDF of the sample application for you to look at before you begin the process, so you can see what all is needed and what questions are asked. And then here's a list of all the attachments. And I will say, if you could save your attachments, so let's say attachment A is the letter from the Transit Authority to let them know that you're working on this project. So we know that you're just not working on this project without any coordination. If you could save that attachment as, say it's BAWAC attachment A, that would be wonderful. That way, when I go into all these applications at the end, I know attachment A's are all letters from a transit authority. So vice versa. Then your single audit is attachment B. Save it as BAWAC, attachment B, you upload it. Yeah.
BAWAC?
BAWAC, that's it. No, that's just the company name. I'm just using,
Oh,
so you
okay.
can save it as CABVI.
Got it. I wanted,
Attachment
I
A.
thought that was government speak.
Yeah, no, or Claremont Seniors would save it as Claremont Seniors Attachment A. Just put your agency name and then the attachment, whatever attachment it is, A, B, C, D. That way I know. It really, it's helpful. I would appreciate it. Attachment C, you need to upload an organizational chart for your agency. Attachment D would be the certification that you're in the coordinated plan. Again, if you're not, don't worry, we can amend it, add your agency profile. Just need to know that from the get-go. Letter E, you'll be uploading letters from coordinating agencies. Again, we want to make sure that services aren't duplicated, and we want to make sure that agencies are working together. So all of these are very important pieces that the oversight team does look at. And attachment F is your certification for your local match source, and it's the budget. So that'll be where you're listing all the money that you're requesting. Again, put where your local match is coming from, whether it's donations, a levy, general operating budget. I need to know that information. Along with the certification of the local match, if you are requesting a vehicle, you will need to upload vehicle cost sheets. This will actually let you know how much you need to request. These are Excel files, and when the website goes live, these links should take you directly to all of the cost sheets. I pulled up a sample of the minivan. So that's the base cost, and then there's the options you can fill out. And then down at the bottom are the tabs for all the vendors that supply that vehicle. So you can toggle at the bottom and find all the different vendors, all their pricing and whatnot. They should have a name and a phone number on there to call if you need any more information. So you can click on each link and it'll take you to all the different spreadsheets. Save that, upload it as your agency vehicle cost worksheet. And then also on the application, if you're requesting vehicles, there will be this little box that you need to fill out, one for each vehicle. This lets us know how often the vehicle is going to be used. Important information for the oversight team. And then attachment G is the vehicle inventory. So you need to look at the group transit asset management plan and confirm that it is up to date. If it's not up to date, please update it and upload the updated attachment. That's very important. I hope we have the most up-to-date list, but some agencies have been getting new vans. They've been coming in. Some might have dropped off due for various reasons. So if you can make sure that that is updated and update the most current inventory list for your agency, I would very much appreciate it. Attachment H is only if you are requesting preventative maintenance. That is an eligible activity that you can request funds for. However, you can only request preventative maintenance funds for 5310 vans. So if you have a van that you bought with your own operating money, you cannot request preventative maintenance for those vans. So again, this is an Excel file. There's multiple tabs to fill out. Again, it seems overwhelming. If you have any problems, give me a call and we'll walk through it. But it'll say like the certain types of activities that are eligible, and you can apply for 1 to 5 years. I don't think we have a limit on how long you can go out, do we, Travis? Usually people do it for 5 years because it's such an incremental cost to do it for 1 year. So yeah, if you have any questions, just give me a call. And then attachment I and J have to do with Title VI. Attachment I is the Title VI data collection form. You need to complete the form with data on your clients and your agency that provides the service. And then attachment J, you have to upload your Title VI plan. Every subrecipient agency that we work with has to have a Title VI plan. If you don't, ODOT has a guide that will help you prepare a Title VI plan. And we have a Title VI plan, Florence Parker, right here in the red, who can help you if you have any questions. So you can contact her as well. But yes, we cannot award you funds without a Title VI plan. So if you don't have one, go to the ODOT's guide. It should walk you step by step, and then contact Florence if you have any questions. Yeah, I told you we had a lot of attachments. We've got to J. So that's really it. I apologize that I can't go live and look at the application with you. Fingers crossed everything goes smoothly. My contact information here is here along with Lauren's. We will post this workshop on the website when it does go live. The best way to reach me personally is email. You can call me, but I have email on my phone too, so I constantly check it. So that's the best way to reach me is email. And again, I would encourage you to reach out to me if you have any questions during any of this. Reach out to any of the vendors. They've all been great to work with. So yeah, just use the resources that are available. Yes.
Can I make one comment
Yeah.
on the vehicles? When you look at your vehicles, yeah, the type of vehicles, the most important, but also check with the vendors to see what delivery times are. That was not an issue 5 years ago. It's just you order a vehicle, you got it, right? That is not the case anymore. Certain vehicles, depending on the time frame, depending on what the situation is, are unavailable practically, right? So check with the vendors to see if you really need a vehicle and you're not sure between one size or another size, and you check with the vendor and he says, well, this one you can get in 3 months after we get all the paperwork. This one will be 2 years currently at the best. You may want to go with 3-1. So just keep that in
Yeah,
mind.
that's a great point. COVID really caused havoc on the production. So vehicles weren't being delivered for a very long time. Vehicles are just now starting to be delivered for agencies that have been waiting for quite some time. And the costs, huge increase, which is why I'm still not sure if we have any leftover funding. But things have kind of settled now. I don't think there was that dramatic increase
Right.
from last contract to this contract like there was when COVID hit. So yes, vehicle demand is an issue, but not much.
Is there, since we can't see the application, is there any significant changes from last year?
No,
When it comes to the online application system, is there any link to like last year's proposal, or do we just set up a new account? Like I have a different person setting up that like account.
no, you would have to start all over.
Okay, it doesn't have like.
Yeah.
Ongoing access. I guess I have another question too, though, about reporting. Do you do reporting in a system, or do we just kind of submit our own?
For vehicles, we do an annual reporting where we send you out an email and you fill out all the forms and send it back. If you're requesting like mobility management, preventative maintenance, things like that, there's progress reports maybe every 6 months, maybe every 12 months. It depends what you're requesting. Are there any other questions? It didn't take long at all, not even a half an hour. Okay, are there any online questions, Travis?
Let's see. No, there's nothing. I heard something beep. That's why I was looking now. I invited folks to unmute themselves if they did have a question.
Well, I appreciate you all coming down, and I hope to see some great applications. I'll admit, this is a hard program when it comes time to grade the applications. They're all such good programs and they're all needed. So it's very hard. So all very worthwhile programs. So if there aren't any other questions, we can go downstairs and look at some vehicles for those that are interested. I would really encourage you all to take this opportunity to look at some vehicles, meet with the vendors. Until you see certain types of vehicles, you really don't know what you need. I did forget to point out that there is a vehicle catalog on ODOT's website, and that is in the presentation. There was a hyperlink. So that does go over all the different types of vehicles and all the specifications and that. But again, the vendors are the experts. I can read about it, but until I see it, totally different. All right, well, if there's not any questions, we can get our code on. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Give us 5 minutes or so to get them running.
Yeah.
Is that-
So, yeah, so there's some key cards in the back for anyone who has to use the restroom before we go out. I have to go back to my office and grab my coat. So if you want to just kind of hang out, maybe use the restroom, get a drink of water, whatever, gather your things, and then in about 5 minutes, we'll head down.